Welcome to Slow American English, the podcast for learners of American English. I'm your host, Karen Tolliver. This is episode 1612, The President's Cabinet. The President of the United States has a group of advisors that he depends on to run the country. This group of advisors is known as the President's Cabinet. The Cabinet is established by the U.S. Constitution. However, the Cabinet is only referred to indirectly in the Constitution as executive departments that advise the President. Its organization isn't directly specified. Today's Cabinet is a result of custom, necessity, and tradition. The Cabinet consists of the Vice President and the leaders, or secretaries, of 15 executive departments. Secretaries are appointed by the President and must be approved by the Senate. Only the President can fire them, and they are expected to resign when the President leaves office. The secretaries in the Cabinet are in the direct line of succession for the presidency if the President or Vice President cannot perform the duties of President. The President meets almost every week with the Cabinet. Also included in the regular Cabinet meetings are the White House Chief of Staff and the secretaries of 6 additional Cabinet-level departments. The first Cabinet meeting was held by George Washington, the country's first president. However, the word cabinet wasn't used until the 4th president, James Madison, said it. It comes from an Italian word meaning small private room. Here is a list of the Cabinet executive departments in order of succession to the presidency, along with their responsibilities. Department of State, formerly Department of Foreign Affairs, established 1789, responsible for international relations and international travel, including passports and visas. Hillary Clinton was Obama's Secretary of State. Department of the Treasury, established 1789, collects taxes, manages the country's money, produces currency, promotes financial stability. Department of Defense, formerly National Military Establishment, established 1947. In charge of the military forces. Headquarters are in the Pentagon Building in Washington, D.C. Department of Justice, established 1870. Enforces laws via the court system, responsible for the Supreme Court. Department of the Interior, established 1849. Deals with natural resources and cultural heritage, especially for Native Americans. Manages national parks, geology, oceans, mining, rivers, dams, and forests. Department of Agriculture, established 1862, regulates food safety, farms, nutrition standards, and rural development. Department of Commerce, established 1903, creates conditions for economic growth and opportunity, helps business. Department of Labor, formerly part of the Department of the Interior, established 1913, promotes workers, job seekers, and retirees' rights, improves working conditions and benefits. Department of Health and Human Services, formerly Health, Education, and Welfare, established 1953, enhances and protects health and well-being, medicine, public health, and social services, including Obamacare administration. Department of Housing and Urban Development, established 1965, helps ensure affordable housing for all. Department of Transportation, established 1967, oversees the national transportation system, including air, rail, and cargo transportation, as well as infrastructure for private automobiles and public transportation. Department of Energy, established 1977, conducts programs to find clean, efficient, renewable energy and manages the U.S. oil reserves. Department of Education, formerly part of Health, Education, and Welfare, established 1979, deals with public education standards and statistics, plus financial aid programs for university students. Department of Veterans Affairs, established 1930, elevated to cabinet level 1989, deals with benefits and programs for veterans. Department of Homeland Security, established 2002, protects the country from terrorism. The following positions have the status of cabinet rank. Environmental Protection Agency, concerned with environmental issues. Office of Management and Budget, largest part of the Executive Office of the President, helps implement presidential policies, concerned with national budget, procurement, IT, research for decision-making, communication review, executive orders, and presidential memoranda. United States Trade Representative, negotiates trade agreements with other nations. United States Mission to the United Nations, the U.S. Delegation to the UN. Council of Economic Advisors, offers the President economic advice about domestic and international economic policy. Small Business Administration, helps small businesses via financial programs, training, technical assistance, and other areas. That's the podcast for this time. Slow American English is written and produced by Karen Tolliver. Copyright 2015. The music for this podcast is written and performed by S.W. Campbell and used by permission. The opening theme song is Junie Says. The ending music is Beans and Dirty Rice. Find these songs and more music by this artist at www.soundclick.com/SWCAMPBELL. Please visit www.slowamericanenglish.net for a free transcript of this podcast. There you can also download additional materials for a small fee. Such materials include regular speed recordings, vocabulary exercises, comprehension quizzes, and discussion topics. You can subscribe to Slow American English for free via iTunes. This has been Slow American English. I'm Karen Tolliver. Thank you for listening.
Showed up one day. Well, that cat ain't good for nothing. Least of all, it gets you fired. She's chicken of the sea.